So please take a seat and let's slow down. I need it. Again, we're going to be exploring the bottom chakra, which is your root chakra, which sits at the base of the pelvis. So if you're in a seated position, your hips are elevated, you could sit cross-legged, you could sit up on blocks. If you're tighter in your hips, just go ahead and really elevate the hips. I'm gonna make sure my volume is up. Okay. Yeah. And, okay. So find your seat. You can set your hands on your thighs, palms down or up, whatever feels more comfortable on your shoulders. So our root chakra is our survival center. And it's in the shape of a four-pointed square. So, squares don't roll, they're very stable. So we're gonna find the base of our pelvis right now. So whatever you're seated on, go ahead and just kind of rock around so you can bring mental awareness physically to the base of your pelvis. It's like your basement, okay? And then you can find your two sitting bones. You can bring your fingers right underneath and find those two sitting bones. So we're finding the four corners of our base, okay, of our pelvis. So see if you can just gently close your eyes or gaze down the tip of your nose. And take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, send that energy down to those two sitting bones. If you need to rock forward or back to find the very center of those sitting bones, go ahead and do that. So we want to find evenness at the base of the pelvis here. So that, we're going to make a little square here. So the two sitting bones, and then you have the tailbone behind, and you have the pubic symphysis in front. So you've got those 4 points, your two sitting bones, your tailbone, and the pubic bones where they come together. So as you breathe, invite your breath to move down into that base, into that very stable, even base, and bring awareness to the base of your pelvis, your legs, and your feet. Keep it really simple, just very simple. And connect to your breath. Just be aware of your breath. The element in this chakra is the earth, and the earth moves very slowly. It seems as if right now everything is at a standstill. So while everything is at a standstill, you might feel anxious about that. So even with everything being closed or shut down or uncertain, you might feel like the breath rises up into that anxious feeling around the upper chakras. So it may feel like you can't take a deep breath in and out. So we're going to cultivate that for about a minute or so, just inviting in a slow, deep, steady breath. Every exhale, we invite that energy to move down and ground us. And again, this root chakra, it has to deal with basic survival, right? Our self-preservation, our security, and our safety. And right now, that is all a bit chaotic. So we're going to really see if we can bring our breath down to our root chakra and feel solidly grounded. And while you're breathing, I'm just going to read a short little paragraph from Carolyn Mace. She wrote Anatomy of the Spirit. She's a medical intuit, and I really, really enjoy her philosophies. And she writes, each new crossroads being, we enter into a new cycle of change, whether it be adopting a new health regimen or a new spiritual practice. And change inevitably means letting go of familiar people and places and moving on to another stage of life. I think without a doubt we are moving into a different stage of consciousness, of global consciousness of life. And it is quite a crossroad. So let's just take 5 more slow, deep breaths. And with every exhale, see if you can send that slow, deep grounding energy down to the base of your pelvis, your legs, and your feet. For all of you that are watching, it's the first time I'm filming from my phone, so if I don't say hello, it's because I can't see that far. But thank you for tuning in. One more breath in and out, please. So physically, you can just gently flutter your eyes open. So physically, we're going to really use our feet, our legs, and the base of our pelvis to feel a grounding. So we're going to be doing quite a few standing poses. Again, this is alignment class, not so much of a flow or vinyasa. You're always welcome to do vinyasa, but I really wanted to focus today on the root chakra and aligning feet, legs, base of pelvis. Okay, so just like we have 4 corners of the base, we found our 2 sitting bones, our tailbone, and the pubic symphysis. We have 4 corners of the feet. So I want you to physically pick your foot up so you can identify and get alert, so the mind becomes alert of the 4 corners of the feet. We unite the mind to the physical point. So right there, the mound of the big toe, okay, that's the first corner. Second corner is the inner heel. Just touch it so you feel the inner heel. The third point is at the base of your pinky toe. And then the fourth point is the outer heel. So it's base of the big toe, inner heel, base of the pinky toe, outer heel. Make sure you touch those 4 points. It's called proprioceptiveness, where you can align and attune to the physical aspects of your body. And do the same thing with the other foot. The base of the big toe, go ahead and touch it. The inner heel, the base of the pinky toe, and the outer heel. And just do that again. Base of the big toe, inner heel, base of the pinky toe, outer heel. Got those 4 corners of your feet, and then the 4 corners of our of the base of our pelvis. Good. From there, we're going to come to standing. I have blocks that I always practice with. If you have books or you don't have blocks, you can use that. You can use soup cans, you can use toilet paper rolls, whatever you have. Good. So coming to standing. We call this mountain pose, standing mountain pose. So I'd like you to bring your feet right underneath your hips. So again, see if you can, with your mind's eye, find those 4 points, the 2 sitting bones, the tailbone behind, and the pubic bone in front. Perfectly level, right? So we're not tilting the hips forward or back or side to side, completely level. And then send the energy down your leg bones and bring your awareness right to the four corners of your feet, those 4 points that you just touched. Base of the big toe, inner heel, base of the pinky toe, outer heel on both feet. You can look down, you can wiggle your toes, you can see maybe you're moving more to the outer edges or the inner edges. Can you find those 4 points on both feet so they're nice and even? And then bring your hands to your heart center and invite grounding. Invite energy down from the hips, down from the base of the pelvis, right down the strong legs into those 4 grounding points of your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Go ahead, grab your left wrist and flex your wrist. I don't know if you can see, flex your wrist up to the ceiling. Imagine like you are hanging from the wrist. So you're just letting the upper body hang. And you're breathing and you're lengthening. You're locating the 4 points at the base of your pelvis, and then you're locating the 4 corners of your feet. Inhale to lift the energy up, and then go ahead, take a bend over. Good. You might have noticed when I said take a breath up and reach up, the energy moves up to the head, right? Now, as you are breathing into the side body here, notice, are you rocking off those 4 points of your feet, 4 corners of your feet? See if you can find that. Come back up to the center, switch your wrist grasp, and again, lift up. Imagine like you're hanging from the sky, right? You're hanging. And then take a deep breath in, lift up, and over to the second side you go. And notice, can you feel grounded into the 4 corners of both feet? Notice if you might be locking your knees out. See if you can soften your knees and send the energy right from the base of your pelvis down your legs into the 4 corners of both feet. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. I'll show you from the side, all the way over. Connect your hands to your shins and lengthen the spine. And just pause here. Your knees are slightly bent or generously bent. However, you can find that elongating of the spine. And again, you can look down at the feet. Are you rolling to the outside, the inside, or can you find the 4 corners of the feet? Exhale, fold over. Uttanasana. Again, 4 corners of the feet. Ground down. Stay in your forward fold. Ground down. Good. Release your neck. You got it. Release your neck. Breathe deep. Now, again, halfway lift, grounding down from the base of your pelvis, down your strong legs into the 4 corners. Exhale, fold, and then rise up to standing. All the way up. Grab your right wrist again and take a stretch over. Keeping consistent, grounding the 4 corners of the feet. Inhale, lift up. Shift into the other wrist. Take the stretch over. Inhale up. Exhale, lead forward, but feel how strong your legs are from the base of the pelvis all the way down. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. From there, walk your hands forward. Walk your feet back into downward facing dog. It's that inverted V. So now you've got the 2 points of your feet behind the big toe and the baby toe, right? And even though the inner and outer heels are not touching the ground, at least mine never touched the ground, imagine the energy equally, okay? 4 corners of both feet. So the inner and outer heel press down and back. Down and back. And as you ground into the 4 corners of the feet here, you invite the base of the pelvis to lift up. And then just ground down. There's the 4 corners of your hands as well. Take 2 more breaths, please. From there, please step your right leg forward into a lunge. I'm going to use blocks here. Okay, you're stepping your right foot forward into a lunge, lifting the back knee up. So check out that your front knee sends energy down equally into the four corners of that front right foot. Good. Pull your heart forward. And then the four corners of the back foot, bring the heel directly over your toes. Now, from the base of your pelvis, there's energy pressing down into the front foot and energy moving out to the back leg. Breathe here. 3 calm, deep, steady breaths. From there, you're going to bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. You can bring your blocks, if you have blocks, to the inside and right to the center, okay? Halfway, just diagonally forward. Keep that knee, that right knee, directly over the center of your right heel, and then just bow down. You can come down onto blocks. You could have your fingertips here. Some of you might have the flexibility to go all the way down. It might be a little, it might be a lot. Wherever it is, just breathe. Isometrically press that right knee down and pull isometrically your right heel back. Your back knee is down and you're pulling your back knee towards your front heel. One more breath. Good. Come back to the center, framing your foot. Then you're going to take a twist to your right. I just cracked my back. Just reach up. You got it. Ooh, good. And then come on down. Good. Lift your back knee up off the ground. Step your front foot back into downward facing dog again. Connect your awareness to the four corners of your feet. Doesn't matter if your heels are grounding. Just connect. Be even. Be steady. Be stable. One more deep breath in and one more deep breath out. And then you'll step your left foot forward, okay, into a lunge. Your left foot will come forward, lifting the back knee up. And then breathe. Energy from that right knee down into the four corners, evenly into the feet. And then the energy from the base of the pelvis back into the back foot. You got it. Close your eyes and just have steady breath here. Steady breath. Just a grounding, even breath. Slow down. Like the earth moves slow, this is what we're going to do to find the grounding and the stability that we are craving right now. Good. Lower your back knee down. And then go ahead, bring your blocks or your hands to the center. You got it. And then just bow any amount. It might be a lot, it might be hardly anything at all. But you want to feel the energy from the base of your pelvis, right? Moving into the strength of your legs and pulling your legs towards each other. So you've got this sense of drawing in, the sense of support. One more breath. And then you will come back to the center, with or without your blocks, and go ahead, twist open to your left. Back knee is down here. Just twist open. Open the heart. Good. Come on down. And then go ahead, step your front foot back again into downward facing dog. I got these little things that says wave, 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 wave. I don't know how to get rid of that. Oh well. From downward facing dog, let's come forward into a high plank position. So high plank position is like the beginning of a push-up. Your hands are directly beneath your shoulders. Now, you may need to bring your knees down, that's okay. Now connect from the base of your pelvis back into the four corners of your feet. That's energy moving back, strong energy moving back. And then from the navel forward, strong energy moving forward in the spine, and then down through the strength of your strong arms. From there, just slowly lower yourself down, just slow as you can. Uncurl your feet. Lift your heart any amount. It might be a lot, it might be a little. Root the base of the spine down. Root the tops of the feet down. Slide your armpits back and open your heart any amount. You might be here, you might be here, it doesn't matter. Exhale, lower down. Take an inhale, curl your toes, exhale, press yourself back up to your downward facing dog. Anytime you need to rest, just bring your knees down. You can come to child's pose. That's a nice grounding, safe pose. Child's pose anytime. Even if you do child's pose this entire class, if that's what you need to feel grounded and connected, then that's what you need. Just listen. Just listen to what you need. Good. All right. Looking at the time. And then go ahead, step your right foot forward, wherever you're at. If you need help, you can help it forward, however you want to help it. You might want to have a block steady. I want you to bend your front knee so it's right over the front heel. So you've got a nice straight shin bone here, okay? And we're protecting the knee by doing that. Anchor down into the four corners of the right foot. Spin your back foot down. So your toes will face the long edge of your mat. And then bring your forearm on top of your thigh and your other hand on top of your top hip and roll open. Now, one foot's going one way, the other one's going the other way. So can you feel the four corners of your feet here? From the base of your pelvis, energy through the legs, right down, grounding into the four corners. Maybe you can spread your toes. And then go ahead, lift your top arm up and bring it over your ear. Breathe, send the breath right to the base of the pelvis. And as you exhale, invite more stability, invite more groundedness. Good. And then go ahead, windmill your arms up to warrior two. Warriors must have a strong foundation, steady. They're steady in their vision. They're steady in their stance. So take a big inhale. As you exhale, feel that energy from the base of the pelvis move down the strong legs into this rootedness, this earthiness. Don't lose the strength of the legs. Flip the front palm and just reverse your warrior. But your legs are still strong. The basement of your pelvis is still strong. Good. Come on back. Good. You're going to straighten the front leg. Turn your toes so they face forward. And then fold forward into a wide leg forward fold. So toes are facing forward. You're hinging at the hips. If you need a block, you can use a block. Some of you may not need a block wherever you are. Again, as you breathe, feel your inner legs, your inner ankles, your inner feet pulling in, right? So you've got this strength and stability from the base of the pelvis and even the outer hips, everything's hugging in. So the torso can release and feel safe to hang there, right? But you have this strong foundation. Take one more breath there. Bring your hands to your hips, lift halfway up. Roll the shoulders onto the back. Press down from the hips into the feet and rise to standing. Good. Bring your feet together. Bring your hands together. Mountain pose. Deep breath in. Long, steady, earthy breath. Connect to the earth or whatever is beneath you right now. Good. Second side. So just switch your legs. Your other leg will come forward. All right, we're going to come down into extended side angle pose. Knee right over the center of the heel, the four corners of that front foot. Make sure the knee's not moving in or out, that it's directly sending energy squarely down. You got it? And then back foot, ankle, the toes will be facing the long edge of your mat. Send the energy down, strength from the hips, both hips, into the feet. Lift the top arm up, roll the waist and the heart open, and take the arm over the ear. If you have any sensitivities in your shoulders or whatever, you do what's appropriate for you. Every pose will look different on everybody, but what we really want to do is connect the awareness to the physical strength of base of pelvis, down legs, into ankles and feet. Good. Come on up. Warrior two. Warrior two. Steady, strong, steadfast, grounded, convicted, very convicted and committed. So be committed in this side on your warrior two to breathe, to focus, and to send that strength. It's very reliable. Your reliable legs and feet that have carried you for your entire lives. Don't lose that strength and rootedness. Flip your front palm and open up, reverse your warrior. Your legs don't change at all. If anything, they get stronger and more rooted. One more breath. Come on back. Turn your toes again to face the long edge of your mat. Same thing we did on the first side. Hinge at the hips, take a wide leg forward fold. Wide leg forward fold. Your toes are facing forward. You can check out, look on either side, on each foot. Notice, are you grounding equally the four corners of the feet? Avoid locking out the knees. I always think when you lock something, you can't get in. So when you lock something, the energy stops. So the knees are slightly bent, but you feel the energy from the outer hips, the base of the pelvis, sending that strength down. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, lift halfway up. And then take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, stand all the way up. Bring your feet together again into your mountain pose, Tadasana. Hands join at your heart. Breathe slowly and deeply. So we're going to come down into Malasana, which is yoga squat. I use blocks and sit on blocks. Some of you may not need the blocks. I use 2 blocks and I put them on the second height. So you can turn your toes out as much as you need to or as little as you need to, but make sure wherever they are, when you begin to move your hips back, your knees track right over your toes. Your knees track right over your toes. Now, for some of you, the heels might lift. That's okay. It's all right. But here, you might be able to feel how the base of your pelvis just feels wider here. It actually is wider. So we're spreading our sitting bones, and we're letting gravity ground us here in Malasana. It just opens the pelvic floor here. You can bring your arms inside. Breathe deeply and slowly. Make sure the knees are tracking over the toes. Even if your heels are lifted a little bit, see if you can send energy down all 4 corners of the feet. Even if the heels are lifted, let that energy move down. Relax the skin of your shoulders. feel connected. Feel safely connected to the earth below you. It will not fall out from under you. Good. One more breath. We're going to gently come forward. Lift your hips high. You can move your blocks to the side. Bring your feet to parallel again and just forward fold. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. And then just roll yourself all the way up. All the way up. Good. You're going to take a block, or if you don't have a block, you can roll up a blanket. You could take a toilet paper roll, whatever you like. And you're going to bring the block in between your shins. Okay? Upper shins. Below the knee, but upper shins. Okay? And start to just bring the energy in from the outer legs to the inner legs. Outer legs to inner legs, and just feel that connection. Four corners of the feet ground, and you might feel some pelvic floor lifting, right? Some action there. Inhale your arms up by your ears, oops. And then as you exhale, go ahead, sit the hips back down into chair pose. Again, if you have shoulder sensitivity, you don't have to reach the arms here. You can reach them forward, shoulders on the back, or you can bring them to your heart center. Squeeze the block. That's it. Now, most times for Utkatasana, we say bring the energy into the heels. For this one, I want you to bring the energy into the four corners and lift the low abdomen and breathe. Take one more breath. And then exhale, fold forward. Keep squeezing the block in. You got it. Lift halfway up. As you exhale, fold. I'm going to ask you to walk your hands forward and your feet back, keeping the block. So you might do a little shuffle. You might hop back. However you want to get back there, keep squeezing the block into your downward facing dog. Squeeze the block with your inner shins. Breathe deeply. Keeping that strength with squeezing the block, come forward into plank pose. That's the top of a push-up. You got it. You're really going to feel the strength of hugging in, that sense of pulling the energy in. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Uncurl the toes, lift the heart any amount, might be a little, might be a lot. Exhale, lower. Press yourself back up, curl your toes, keep squeezing the block, and lift up. Walk your feet, shuffle your feet, hop your feet, keeping the block in between the shins. Walk the feet all the way to the hands. And then sit the hips back down again for chair number 2. Utkatasana. Squeeze. And then inhale, lift up to standing. Bring your hands down to meet in front of your heart. You can release the block. Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. Need to check the time here. Okay, good. Just keep it simple. Sometimes the body might feel grounded, but your mind feels like it's just on this trip. You can't rein it in, right? I know I felt like that a lot recently. But if I get my body to feel grounded, my breath to feel centered, just for a little bit, the mind isn't as chaotic. It has a purpose, it has a focus. Okay, from there, bring your hands to your hips. You're going to sit your hips back down and then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Okay, so this is like standing pigeon pose. Okay, four corners of the feet right there, right? So I like to take my hand to my heel, my palm to my heel and my outer knee, and squeeze together. It's a lot of teetering going on for me right now. Right? It's just kind of a sign of instability, how you're feeling emotionally, manifests to how you feel physically. Right? So some of you might just stay here, right? Both your standing knee is bent, grounding into the standing foot, four corners of the standing foot. Some of you might want to bring your hands down to the earth. You might feel a little bit more awareness into that outer hip, right? But ground. Flex the top foot. Make sure there's energy moving out through the four corners of both feet, even though the one foot is not on the ground. Good. From there, if your hands are down, slowly come on up and uncross the foot. Feel the stability of both feet on the ground. Join your hands at your heart. 3 deep, slow breaths. From that earthy, slow breath, go ahead and set up on the second side. So bend the standing knee, cross the ankle over the top of the knee, right? Not on the knee. Good. You can squeeze your hips in with your hands or put one hand on the outer knee, one hand on the heel. Squeeze it. Set your hips back any amount until you feel that outer hip receiving a welcome stretch. Slow, centering breaths. If you teeter and totter, just center yourself again, set up again, try again. 4 corners of that standing foot from the base of the pelvis going down. It's got you. You've got this. We've got each other. Some of you might want to bring your hands down to the floor. Your choice. Slow, steady breaths. Hips back and down until you go, oh, this is a good stretch for my outer hip. I'm good. I'm going to breathe right here. I'm going to breathe into the base of my pelvis. I'm going to breathe into the 4 corners of my feet. And I'm going to feel the security of my breath and my posture and my focus. Good. Take one more breath. If your hands are down, go ahead, come on up. And then uncross your foot. Find your standing mountain pose, Tadasana. Join your hands at your heart. Feel your connection to Mother Earth. Good. From there, simply, we're going to do tree pose. So let's start on the left foot, okay? Taking the right foot wherever it's appropriate for you, okay? So the foot can be at the ankle, it could be at the shin below the knee, or it could be high in the inner thigh above the knee. Okay, wherever it is, we're bringing 2 legs to meet one. So we're bringing the energy in. So now you've got the 4 corners of the standing foot, right? We know exactly where those are. Now, see if you can connect the 4 corners of the opposite foot, whether it's at the ankle, whether it's at the shin, whether it's at the upper thigh. Can you feel the 4 corners so your ankle isn't sickled, right? Your toes are pointing straight down. Feeling the 4 corners, right? Breathing, sending the energy down from the pelvis into the strength of that standing leg. Be flexible with how your upper body might move. It might feel anxious that it's going to fall. And that's okay if it falls, because you're going to reground, recenter, and find your connection to wherever you feel the most stable and confident. One more breath. Bring the knee forward, let the leg come down. Feel 2 solid, standing, firm legs on the earth. And then let's switch to second side. So wherever you put your foot, the first side, put it there, the second side, okay? Whether it's at the ankle, whether it's at the calf, or whether it's up to the inner thigh, right? Wherever it is, the toes face down, the heel faces up, right? 4 corners of both feet equally grounding, whether it's into the inner leg or down through the earth. It's like you're growing roots, right? That's what we do in life. We want to set down roots. That's what it always says, you know. When are you going to settle down? When are you going to grow your roots, right? Whether that's in your family life or your career life or your personal life or whatever it might be, your creative life, right? You've got to have solid foundation and a solid foundation of support around you. But we learn how to find it on our own with our own calm breath. Take one more breath here. And then bring your knee forward and release. Good. We're going to do tree again. Other side. And we're going to add on. You don't have to add on, but it's just a little bit of curiosity that we're going to explore. So, tree on the second side again. You can take it wherever you need to take it. I think I'm going to take on this side. Maybe go to a different part on your leg. Maybe if you went to your upper inner thigh, you go to your outer calf. I actually find that's a little bit more challenging, right? I think because that foot, connected foot, doesn't have as much to grab onto on the lower leg. That's my theory. Okay, breathe steady, calmly. I feel when I do my leg lower, my foot connection lower, then my standing leg has to work harder, right? So from the base of the pelvis, those 4 points, your sitting bones, your tailbone, and where the pubic symphysis meets, that's sending energy down. Good, bring that knee forward, clasp underneath your thigh, underneath your knee. Good, you can just maybe stay here. Right? Maybe extend that leg out. Press through the 4 corners of that extended leg just as much as if you're pressing through the 4 corners of the standing grounding leg. Some of you, if you'd like to go ahead, grab the big toe and try for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Maybe it's there for you today. Maybe it's not. I'm not going to demonstrate. I'm going to hope that you are playing or staying wherever you feel the most grounded, right? And just staying in tree pose is not remedial. This is advanced. Advanced yoga is advanced awareness. You could do tree like this for the rest of your life, and every time it's going to be a different tree. The purpose is to feel the rooting, the spreading of the roots, and then the growing, right? Good foundation lends to growth. One more breath wherever you are, and then bring your knee or leg forward, set it down. Hands meet at the heart. Pause. Good. Second side. Here we go again. Right? So you set the foot the same place you had it the first time. Good. Set your awareness, your drishti, your gaze. It's just like this calm, like, you know how people, it looks like they're not even trying, when inside the body's really negotiating. So see if you can find that inner confidence that just goes and it's on your face. Like, I could do this all day, when really all the muscles are negotiating. You're working really hard to feel the rootedness so you can lift up. So staying here, if that's where it feels right for you, that's what you do. You listen. The good thing about all these home practices is you don't see anyone, right? No one sees you, right? So it doesn't matter what you're doing. There's no judgment here, right? So you can extend that leg if you like or not. If you want to go ahead and try, you can grab your big toe with your peace fingers. Maybe reach that leg out. Maybe reach it to the side. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you breathe steadiness down from the base of the pelvis, out both legs into the 4 corners. 2 more breaths, everybody. And then invite that leg forward, release. Again, let's find and feel and enjoy Tadasana. So let's bring our hands by our sides this time. Relax the top of your shoulders. Soften through the throat. Maybe you feel more energy from the base of your spine now down into your legs. And maybe you feel a lightness up through the upper chakras. Hopefully your breath has calmed down. We're going to come down to the mat. Go ahead and lie down onto your backs, please. While you're on your back, just go ahead, pull your right leg into your chest, hug it in so you're giving this nice massage to the lower abdomen. Right, the large intestines also are part of the root chakra. Just pull that knee in. Let your bones be heavy. Right, give in now. You got it, give in. And then take that knee, that right knee, go ahead, or whatever knee you have, bring the outside of your hand and just roll it over to the opposite side. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground. I can't get my leg without lifting my shoulders, so I ground my shoulders and then I just let the weight of my bones of that top bent leg just stretch out the low back. Close your eyes. Let yourself release. If you're holding on in your feet or your ankles or your strong muscles of your legs, let go now, let go. The work is done. Now you allow the miracle of your body to soak up your practice, soak up your committed breath for stability. Release that knee back up to the center and switch sides. So you can pull the opposite leg in, hug it in tightly. Feel how it's compressing the low abdomen. Deep breath in. A releasing breath out. It's like you're melting into the earth. The earth is holding you. It's holding us. It might be holding us in a holding pattern, but it is holding us. Good. Take your hand to the outside of that knee and cross it over your body. Let your shoulders stay connected to the earth, and then you have a stretch for your low back there. Good. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, release. If it's audible, it's okay. Sigh out, Could be a big sigh of frustration or release or gratitude. And then go ahead, release that leg. Both leg bones lengthen away from the low back. Bring your heels to the corners of your sticky mat. Let your feet fall open. Bring your hands by your sides, not too far away, not too close in. Roll your palms up. Good. Sink in to the weight of your own skeleton. Sink into the weight of your bones. Especially let the weight of your pelvis release. Muscles of the leg bones roll off and rest. Take a deep breath in. Take a long breath out. And just scan your inner scape. Scan how you feel, what you feel on the inside? Where is the energy? There's no right or wrong to it. There's just a noticing. Are you able to relax and trust even more? Letting go of any holding. Trust that you are being held. You are safe. You are centered. Your body, your mind, your spirit are grounded and centered. Please stay in Shavasana as long as you're able. If you need to move forward into your evening, you can slowly prop yourself up to your seat. Try to keep your eyes closed. Don't rush out of your Shavasana. If anything, linger and rest as long as you can. So beneficial to our nervous system to rest. If you've come to your seat, you can bring your hands to your heart. If you're in Shavasana, maybe both hands on the heart, maybe one on the heart, one on the low belly. I want to thank you for joining me this evening. Caitlin will be back again next Wednesday at 5:30. Remember, you can click on to balancewebster.com. They have offerings of class passes, virtual. But we also understand if this is a time where you're not feeling safe and secure about finances, we're just glad you're here with us doing yoga. Connect your heart and your head. Take a deep breath in, a long sigh out. And until we meet again, Namaste.